Ken, we saw your emotion on the track. We heard from you on the podium, but now a few more moments removed from it. Does this feel as you had expected it to feel?
Absolutely, and even better, honestly. I have envisioned this moment all year to the point where I would, even at home, I'd get emotional. Like I would hide out from the kids a couple times throughout the day, every day, because I had to, just to kind of do my practice. And I had envisioned it so deeply that I would get even emotional like during the week, just because I felt all of it before it happened tonight. And, you know, of course, when you feel those things, like I believed in it so hard, that doesn't mean that it's going to work out that way. But it made me believe so freaking hard. And it was awesome even throughout the day. Like me and Cord, we had a couple of moments where after opening ceremonies, you know, her and the kids were getting ready to go in the stadium, and we hugged it out. And just so awesome to be in the position that we were in, this high pressure cooker situation, and just being in a position to be able to have a shot at this championship. And it meant a lot to me, to her, I think to the whole crew. But so we pushed out a couple of tears here and there, you know, throughout the day, and it just felt good.
Adam from Track Talkers, you know, you definitely had a stressful day, obviously, from the beginning emotionally, but you had that crash in the heat race where you tucked the front and you got somewhere around 7th, 8th gate pick. You came out in the main event, you got the whole shot, and then that second turn, I think you made maybe the biggest pass of your life. Can you talk about maybe what was going through your mind in that moment, and then also was that a plan to get out front quick and make that happen?
Once I had a good start, yes, I had to, and I knew it was risky because I know he was gonna try to charge really hard again, you know, either right after or later in the main event. So once I passed him, I was like, okay, I had to figure out the track too. Obviously, everybody saw, even though I've been good on the whoops all year, I wasn't the greatest in the whoops today. And especially in the, if you want to even call it sand section, it wasn't really a sand section. It was like sand on top of a shop floor right here. But it was so slippery and just so awkward to ride. But it was important for me to not over push and blow myself out early, because I just don't think I had enough to like really put in a gap. So I was just methodically trying to go fast while staying relaxed on top of it. And it paid off. You know, I know he went down, but all of this is part of it. And, man, to be quite honest, not that it really matters, but I fully believed I had the race win. But my side ache towards the end, I tried to really keep my breathing super calm, but I think I did it too much almost, to where like I didn't take enough breath. So, you know, the track was starting to get beat up, and when you do that and you sit down, it kind of jackhammers you a little bit. So I was starting to get a super, super heavy side ache under my right rib cage, to the point where like I couldn't inhale anymore, and I had like 4 laps to go, and I'm like, oh crap, or 3 laps to go. And, you know, that's why I let everybody by, because I was like, okay, Hunter's way back, you know, I don't have enough to like finish this off right now. And, you know, the rest is really history. But just a mental, and honestly, I haven't had a minute to sit down and kind of go through everything yet, but holy crap.
Mike Lindsay from Vital MX. Ken, 2 things. First one is simple. From a career standpoint, do you feel fulfilled now to win this? And then number 2, can you take us back to the first day that you worked with the team, rode the bike, that point of your career played out in a very public eye in a way we've never seen before, with a rider making their decision? You know, can you take us back to that moment and, you know, kind of what went through your mind then?
That day was, as a person, as a racer, I'm so far away from that now than I was then, because it wasn't a secret, right? I wasn't at my best. It was just a major shit show, you know. And like I said, at that point and those following 2 years, like I was just trying to grasp onto something to like be halfway good again, you know, like how are we getting on the podium? I got on the bike super late anyways, you know, so going into the 2023 season, I had no testing under my belt. So I was in the season riding till my freaking butt and my hands were bleeding, you know, and here we are, though. It all paid off. We just did one bit at a time, and it's just been such a journey now to look back. I mean, we have all of this in the bag, but once I started, you know, the first year, 2023, I came back pretty good, you know, I had some podiums and whatnot, but wasn't anywhere near championship material, me personally, right? So the work continued, and it started this off season, or I should say last off season too. You know, I was starting to ride really well, and hasn't been proven because, we were doing these overseas races and things are just different. But I feel like that's when I really started to hit my stride, and nobody realized it yet. And always to talk about me fading and all of that crap, You can do good one weekend and then maybe not the greatest following weekend, and the media just changes their mind from like, oh my God, he's got it, and then all of a sudden like, oh, I don't think he's gonna go anymore, So there's just so much over these last few years that have happened, and it's taken some serious, more mental work than physical work, to be honest, to get to this point.
Hi, Kenny. Olaf from DLZ, Northern Germany newspaper. All the best for you. All the best wishes from all my friends in Germany who came over here for this race for one day. I want to congratulate you. Yeah, that's what I want to say to you. I'm nervous as you was, I think, during the race. I really felt it during the race. But tell me, how nervous have you been all the day?
It's been a tough day, not gonna lie, because I don't know, as I've gotten older, I feel like I struggle more, or I should say I have to do more mental work. And then even yesterday, even this whole week, it was tough, and I didn't even care. I mean, I care a lot, but I don't care as much. So I'm like, man, even when I woke up, I wasn't sleeping that great, even in Denver last weekend. So like, you have this adrenaline rush from 6:30 in the morning that I got up, and then, from then on, you have way too much time to think about stuff. I just wanted to I was almost the most calm, like during the race time. So too much time to think about stuff and everything throughout the day. So I was pretty, it wasn't a for sure thing, because I struggled all day. I had to do some serious work internally to just, no matter what happens or is what it is, life goes on, and just, it was tough. It was I haven't been in a championship position in forever, never mind this close. Because the last championship I won in 2016, I wrapped it up a weekend early, so I had literally zero worries. And this was a whole different story, so I'm glad it's over. I'm tired.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Alex Gober, MotoOnline.com. What was your awareness like during the main event in terms of obviously track position and then also where Hunter was as well? What was the messaging like from the team?
Spot on. I mean, like I said, after I did the pass, I tried to methodically go about the whole race because, it's not just do a pass and lead for a couple of laps, because we do have 20+1. And once Hunter went down, I saw where he was at. I kept going. And then the only reason I let off towards the end is because I got a major side ache. So team told me when Billy told me once Hunter was down. And then, of course, really the craziest part about the whole track was the whoops. And I wasn't great at them all day. So it just was a little bit of a gamble every lap you go through it. And I didn't know whether to I skimmed him pretty much almost the whole time, and I don't know, I just didn't feel that comfortable. For me, it was just about like, don't throw this away, don't stall it in the whoops, doing something like nose picking it or doing something stupid like that. And I mean, here we are.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action. Ken, firstly, congratulations. I think your story with the team you're with and everything will be undoubtedly one of the best Supercross stories ever. I just wanted to ask you, I don't remember when you won your first 250 World Championship. I think you were maybe 16 or 17.
2011. Yeah, 2011.
Can you compare the emotions for this championship to your very first championship?
I don't know if I can compare that. I mean, I was a completely different human just because I was pretty much still a child, and it was so long ago. It's hard for me to like 100% remember the feeling like you do in this very moment. I mean, we have videos and everything, but I feel like such a different person that I was then. But any title in that very moment is just so extremely special. And the World Championship title that I did win was in Germany. The fans, the Germans, and everything was right for that moment as well. So all of them are amazing, but I mean, this is by far my absolute favorite just because it has been such an incredibly long road of ups and downs.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Up to this point, you haven't really wanted to talk about overcoming adversity. But given the way that today was, and given the fact that overcoming adversity is really one of those things that defines a top athlete, can you reflect on it now, or do you still feel the same way?
Sorry, I didn't really understand. Just about like trying to keep it cool can you
No,
repeat that? I'm sorry.
The arc that you took from having your severe injury, some years not being what you wanted them to be, it seems like you haven't really wanted to talk about that each weekend. But now that you've overcome all of those adversities, is it okay to reflect on it?
Yeah. I mean, I just, being in this championship hunt, like I seriously, truly haven't thought about 2017 and all the injuries because I'm so in the moment, and of course it's there, and you know, it's amazing, but I think it's more other people that think about the whole story because I have my focus so hard on the task at hand that, you know, there was nothing for me to think about. It's 10 years ago, so it didn't bother me. It wasn't in my head, nor do I care or whatever. It's so long ago. And of course, now that everything is done, what an amazing story, but just I had to focus on the championship and everything else, and that was not one bit in my mind, nor did I want to use it as an excuse or anything like that. So, and that actually goes for the last few years. Like I just haven't thought about it.
Kellen Brower from Swap Moto Live. As an extension, though, from coming back from the injury, you mentioned like going down the hill, obviously leaving Honda and then getting on this team and trying to figure out yourself again. What's like the biggest thing you learned about yourself in this whole process of climbing the mountain to get back to this position?
What I figured out the most, like I don't always feel like a 20-year-old super energetic, you know, crazy super athlete. So I think it's really dealing with what's given to me on that given day and being aware of that's changing as well with your emotional state, you know. And that's really ultimately been the toughest throughout the whole season because even when I won, I didn't wake up feeling like I'm superhuman, you know what I mean? So it's really working with what I got and still making something out of it.
Yeah, Jason from Racer X. Ken, I've been coming to these races for 25 years. I've never heard a sustained roar like that crowd produced when they kind of realized it's going to happen.
The whole main, huh? It was
yes,
nuts.
it didn't stop. And then at the end of the race, they were chanting Kenny. I don't think I've ever heard a chant of a name at a Supercross race. You've done a great job of always taking the fans on the journey with you. You've always been pretty public, good or bad. What is that experience like? Because I don't think we've ever seen that before.
Every single lap on that main event felt like it was the last lap. It was pretty insane, you know, just from the fans. It's so much to think about and settle in. But, you know, because most of the time, even if the crowd goes somewhat crazy, like as a racer, you don't notice it unless it's like really, really, really loud. And it was like, just like you said, it was insane every single lap. And every single lap felt like a championship last lap. So it was pretty cool. You know, I got a lot of that. So pretty sweet. I'm speechless. Not even just here, but over most of the whole season, but especially towards the later stages, once things started changing a little bit and the gap got smaller and smaller and people were like, oh crap, like this could really happen. So it's like everything just got boosted, you know, to another level. I've never felt anything like it. And yeah, nobody can take that from me.
Go celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.